Hey everybody, welcome back to StoryTime English. Today, I'm going to teach you an amazing technique to improve your English by yourself without watching any videos or reading anything. I know it doesn't sound possible, but it's true. Okay, now let's learn how to do it. Before we begin, I have a question for you. Have you ever watched a movie in English with subtitles and you thought, wow, that actor speaks so well. I wish I could speak like that. Or have you ever listened to a podcast and thought the same thing about the host? If you have, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. When I was learning languages, I would spend hours and hours watching clips of TV shows, movies, podcasts, interviews over and over again and repeating everything I heard. I did this before I knew what shadowing was, and I didn't have any fancy terms to describe it. But after I learned that it was called shadowing, I began using it more intentionally to improve my English skills. So what is shadowing? The word shadowing comes from the verb to shadow, which means to follow closely. And that's exactly what you do when you shadow a speaker. You listen to them and you follow or shadow what they say. Basically, you repeat exactly what you hear, trying to imitate the speaker's pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. Why do I like it so much? There are many reasons why I love shadowing and why I think it's one of the best techniques to improve your English by yourself. But the main reason is that it forces you to practice every part of the speaking process. Let me explain. When you read a book or listen to a podcast, you're only using one part of your brain. But when you shadow a speaker, you need to use all of your brain power because you're listening. You're thinking and you're speaking at the same time. Not only that, but when you're shadowing, you're practicing the three most important parts of speaking: pronunciation, grammar, and fluency. Let's take a closer look at each one. First, pronunciation. Shadowing helps you to practice the individual sounds of the language and the stress and intonation patterns of phrases and sentences. It's the best way to learn to speak more naturally and to avoid sounding like a robot. When you shadow a speaker, you're not thinking about the grammar rules behind every sentence. Instead, you're focusing on speaking fluently. In other words, you're practicing real natural English, not textbook English. And third, fluency. As you continue to shadow different speakers, you'll begin to internalize the rhythm and intonation of the language. You'll start to speak more fluently and confidently. In addition, shadowing also improves your listening skills, your vocabulary, and your confidence. By repeating a short phrase or sentence over and over again, you train your mind to understand and remember new words and expressions. Okay, now you know what shadowing is and why I love it so much. Let's talk about how to do it step by step. The first step is to choose a video or audio clip that you want to repeat. You can choose any kind of text from a podcast, an interview, a TED Talk, or even a song. But there are some things to keep in mind. First, the text should be interesting for you. You should choose a topic that you like and that motivates you to learn. Second, the speed of the speaker should be moderate. If the speaker is too slow, you won't be challenged. And if he or she speaks too fast, you will get frustrated and probably give up. You should aim to find a middle ground where you can understand the speaker well enough to repeat him or her. And finally, the length of the text should be short. You don't have to shadow a whole movie or a 40-minute podcast. Just find a short passage of about 1 or 2 minutes. The second step is to listen to the clip. Listen to it at least 2 or 3 times to get an idea of the general topic and to familiarize yourself with the sounds of the language. When you're ready, play the audio and repeat everything you hear. It doesn't matter if you don't understand every word perfectly. Just try to repeat what you hear. You can use a video platform to play the audio and pause it at any time. After each sentence or phrase, pause the video and evaluate what you just said. Did you say it correctly? The great thing about this exercise is that you can do it as many times as you want. There is no limit. Also, there is no right or wrong way to do it. You can do it whenever you have free time. In the morning, in the afternoon, it doesn't matter. You can also do it anywhere you want. At home, at school, in the park. Okay, now let's see an example together. Okay, here is a short video clip. When I went to the doctor yesterday, I told him about my toothache, and he gave me a prescription for an antibiotic. I'm still in a lot of pain, and I have to go back to see him next week. Let's do it. When I went to the doctor yesterday, I told him about my toothache, and he gave me a prescription for an antibiotic. I'm still in a lot of pain, and I have to go back to see him next week. Now let's break it down. When I went to the doctor yesterday. Okay, let's check my pronunciation. When is fine. I is fine. When is also correct. And to the doctor yesterday. Perfect. Everything is fine. Let's listen to the next sentence. I told him about my toothache. I told him about my toothache. Good. Told is correct. About is also correct. And my toothache. Excellent. No mistakes. Now let's check the last part. And he gave me a prescription for an antibiotic. I'm still in a lot of pain, and I have to go back to see him next week. And he gave me a prescription for an antibiotic. I'm still in a lot of pain, and I have to go back to see him next week. Wow, fantastic job. You repeated the whole passage correctly. Now I'm going to give you some tips to help you do it better next time. Tip number 1. Pay attention to the pronunciation of the speaker. Try to imitate his or her intonation, rhythm, and stress. Tip no. 2. Don't worry about making mistakes. The important thing is to practice and to learn from your mistakes. Tip no. 3. Be patient with yourself. It takes time and practice to improve your speaking skills. And tip no. 4. Have fun. Shadowing should be enjoyable. Choose a text that interests you and that challenges you at the same time. Okay, I hope these tips are helpful for you. Okay? I want to share one final thought with you. Shadowing is a powerful tool, but it's not the only one. If you want to improve your English, you should combine it with other activities such as speaking with native speakers, reading books, or watching movies. Remember that there is no secret formula to learn languages. Only practice and dedication can help you achieve your goals. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I hope you learned something new. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. Also, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We release new lessons every week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.